Okay, today starting a new project. We are patching a hole that has been patched several times before. There's a leak overhead, and the leak has been fixed, and the leak developed again a few years later, and we are back to it. Now we're going to patch this as good as we can. It actually needs a full sheet, but we just want to patch the spot. So we're going to put some wood butted up against the joist so we have something to attach the drywall securely to. That's where a lot of people mess up. If you don't attach that securely on those joints, you'll never get it to look right. Now, we hope that the roof leak has been fixed. It actually really needs a full roof put on, but that's not going to be a possibility right now. So that's where we're at. So we are going to do what we can to make that look as good as possible and seal this hole up. So saw the job there. So there's another job I'll be showing you. It is in the kitchen. Same thing, had a small leak develop over a problem area on the roof that actually needs to be fixed, but we're going to patch again. The next job has never been patched. This one has been patched. I myself have patched it twice, and the roof developed a leak again. So the roof was put on improperly. The valleys were cut out wrong, and that makes for an issue over the top. I'm gonna show you the front of the house. Now, where our problem is at is right behind that porch overhang. So it's inside the house, right inside the porch. That's the living room that it's in. Now what has happened, the valleys on either side of that porch overhang were cut too short. So anytime we get a really hard rain, those valleys fill up and they back up into the shingles. Now, we have went up and found leaks where actual nails had backed out. We've patched. We've tried to patch everything that we could possibly patch from the outside. The owner needs to do it this way without putting a new roof on it, so we're going to try to do the best we can with patching the inside, really not knowing if the outside is fixed. It's not the ideal situation. We really don't know if 6 months from now it's going to drop this ceiling again. But this is the way we need to do it. So probably not the way I would even do this one, but this is the way we're going to do it. And I'll show you the next one in a little while. There's another look at the hole. Now I also patched a spot in the center of this room. And with the way the paint is hitting on it, you can see it. Normally you can't see it. With this lighting and with the way that the camera is catching it, you can see it pretty good. It's normally pretty much hidden. So that one turned out pretty good. It's been there a couple of years. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put build wood up on either side of this so that I can put a patch up there and have wood to secure it to. Now I'm gonna put one screw in an oversized piece of drywall, and I'm gonna go up inside the attic and trace this opening so I can get a precision cut. It'll be an exact fit. So I'll show you more of that in a minute. Okay, here it is. We're getting a little more roughed in. I know it seems excessively rough, but because of the limitations, this is the way this one has to be done. And I'll show you a little more here in a second. So the second job is this here. It's in a kitchen, actually in my kitchen. So I'm going to, right now I have that tacked up so it didn't fall and get worse until I can get to it. And I am cooking vegetable soup at the same time. So actually I'm going to get the vegetable soup going so I can get it closed up. And then I will start on this. So what I'm going to do is get this vegetable soup and braising the meat now. I've got my vegetables all chopped up and ready, and as soon as I get this vegetable soup going, we'll get started on this part of the job. Now what I'm going to do is every day go to the other job, then I will come home, and I'm going to try to keep these in order so that every day I can be getting something done. I can put drywall mud on the other one, then I can come home, leave and let that dry, and I can come home and put mud on this one. I can sand over there, then come home and sand over here, and also I can clean, do my laundry, and cook while I'm here. So sorry about that. I left out today and didn't have any tripods, so I don't have a tripod now, so I'm making some very ugly shots. I will rectify that tomorrow, but for now let me get this vegetable soup cooking and get it closed up, and then I will start on the ceiling repair. Okay, so what we have here is I had a water leak directly over this where you see the line in the finish. Now when I came home, the ceiling was sagging, so I very neatly cut it straight line, and I let all the water out, and I brought a dehumidifier into the area, and I tacked the finish back up and ran a dehumidifier. What I'm trying to do is save that finish to the drywall. So now, this has been several months ago. Everything has dried out and is normalized, and I'm going to try taking these tacks out, and I'm going to put some painter's caulk and some drywall mud behind the finish, the paper, and I'm going to try to get that paper to stay secured. And in the end, I'm going to try, because I don't want to take this whole ceiling out, I'm going to try to just put a skim coat there and match the texture and give it a good paint job. So let's see what happens. Okay, here's where we're at on this ceiling project. Have the patch in, have the tape on, and the first layer of mud as a buildup is there. Looks absolutely horrible, but the way I'm doing this, it's about the only way to go about it. This isn't drywall. It's actually plaster, and it's a different thickness than drywall that I can get. So I have a perfect patch there, but it's different thickness. So I'm going to build it up, and this is the way it was done previously also. So that's the only way to really go about this, unless I take this whole corner out, and we don't want to do that. So gonna patch it again the way I did it before, and when we get it finished, you'll see it'll blend in nicely. So that's where it's at today. It looks really nasty. I'll show you tomorrow after I sand it. It'll look totally different. And the next time I see you, I'll show you the next ceiling. Okay, we're back on the first ceiling. I don't like the way it's turning out. Sometimes you have that kind of problem. Depends on the temperature and humidity and the type of mud. Also, I'm using way too much mud on this little area, but this is the way we decided to do it. So the mud's actually too thick, and I applied too much of it at one time. So it is cracked out pretty bad. Now, I could probably make some changes in the humidity or the temperature. If you had a dehumidifier, maybe that would change it. But I'm not really worried about it at this point, because the thickness of the mud, because of the way I'm doing this, I'm building it up. So I'm not really concerned about it at this point. I'm going to apply another coat, build it up some more, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're back here on the ceiling job, the first one, and what I'm doing is sanding off this is the final coat that I put on. I've been going over every day, either sanding or putting new mud on it, and either sanding and putting mud on the second job. I finished the second job up yesterday. I'll show that to you later in the video. I've got it painted and textured, and it came out pretty good. So now this was a little bit different case. If you remember, it was well, earlier in the video you saw that I had to put some wood in this, but it's come out pretty good. It looks pretty good. I'm going to do a quick sand on it, and then I'm going to get some paint on it. And the mask works out real good. You know what, we're going through the coronavirus, but the mask actually keeps all the dust out of my nose, so it works out really good. So let's get started on this, then we'll get to the next one. Okay, here's a good shot of that. You can see I need to feather in some of the edges, but it's actually turned out pretty good. This ceiling has a little bit of a roll to the edges for whatever reason, and I just incorporated that in, kept the roll in there, and it has come out pretty good. So Okay, so here we go. Here's a look at the ceiling as I finished it. I have it painted. And it turned out pretty good. It's not perfect. If you get up there and look at it closely, it's not perfect, but all in all, it turned out pretty good for the limitations that I had. So, okay, here's a shot of the finished product in my kitchen. And as you can see, it turned out pretty good. On the camera, you can't even see a difference. In person, it looks a little different. If I didn't tell somebody it was there, they wouldn't know it, but it looks much better on the camera, I'll give it that. But it does look very good. It looks like it used to. So that was the whole point. So it was a success. And my soup turned out great. Everybody got to eat some of my soup. If you liked the video, consider subscribing. Just push the subscribe button, and if you hit the little bell icon there, you'll be notified when I have new content. And that's going to about do it for this episode. Remember, they may do it another way, but that's the way I do it. We'll see you next time.